Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode, another titillating episode of Vent This. You won't believe who's here with us again. It's the ever-popular stand-up comedian and podcast host, Lucretia Lyon. Yay! We're all here to... Hi, Lucretia. We're all here to listen to your gripes and grumblings and tidbits of shit that annoy you. That's why we're here. So anyway, I've got something that before we get started that I think about. It's not that bad. I'm just wondering if you've ever made the observation, because I'm always observing stuff and there's plenty of stuff to observe. But you ever notice that a lot of people are really good at not knowing anything about what they're doing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very common. I don't know what that is, why that is.
Oh, well, some people are just very confident in things they know nothing about. My mother has said this about me, and I thought it was funny because it's very true. I'm like, no, I can do this, right? And a good percentage of the time, it's true. But many, I'm just really good at faking it, I guess.
Yeah. Wow.
No idea what I'm doing.
Something new we found out about Lucretia. She's good at faking it. All right, we won't go there. All right. Well, now, I guess Loretta's with us, right? Loretta, is she here?
Yeah, she's here, Chucky. Yeah, let's do it. Finally, I was wondering when you guys were going to get to me. Okay, here we go. I bought a window seat on a flight from North Dakota to New Jersey because I love to distract myself while flying long distances. So I look out the window. The guy in the seat right behind me closed the shade a few times because the sun was shining. I didn't say anything, and I didn't want to cause a disturbance, but who exactly owns that window? Signed, Window in Distress.
Well, the guy sitting at the aisle, at the window owns the window. That's the way it is. If you want to have control of the window shade, you got to book yourself in the window seat.
You buy the window seat, right?
Yeah. I mean, and there's no paying a difference or anything. You just book that seat if you want control over the window. It's like, it's not going to be like, hey, everybody, who wants the window open? Let's get a show of hands.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're in control of the window, whatever you want. The aisle seat, you have the right to lean into the aisle, and then the middle seat comes with the bundle of rights because it includes 2 armrests. That's the way it works.
Yeah, it's like an unwritten rule. And for one, I hate when people try to reach around me. Like, it drives me, because I've got into it with somebody at Tender Greens the other day of the same thing. It's like, it's so rude. If you want to, excuse me, would you like the window shade down? You could be nice. You don't have to just reach around somebody.
Wait, you're at the window? You're at the window and they're reaching around to close the window shade where you are?
Yeah. Well,
wow.
that's what I would assume. Yeah. And that was the thing, is like at the restaurant, I was standing at the counter and someone reaches around me to look at an empty bag. And I'm just like, what are you doing? But it's the same sort of principle. It's like, you're sitting in the window seat and someone reaches around you to close the window. What's up with that? This is your space.
I'm in the seat.
Yeah.
Know your window etiquette. Yeah.
And just personal space. You're leaning into people's space,
It's wrong.
Weird.
It's rude.
Yeah. And ever since COVID, I think people are like more sensitive to that, getting close to, each other too. Yeah. I mean, some people are, some people don't have any common sense or courtesy, but I mean,
if you, like Lucretia was saying, you lean forward and go, excuse me, sir, do you mind if I could lower your window? It's blaring in my eyes. I could say, if it were me, no, or just turn around and go, hey, listen, shut up. It's my window. Get out of your seat. No, I'm just kidding. You wouldn't do that. But, that's window etiquette. You can't just roll somebody's window down. You have to ask them.
Yeah, and just be happy that you have a window. I mean, if you were on a Boeing, it might have blown out. But yeah, I think if you're sitting at the window, you control the window. I mean, if you're sitting in the middle seat or the one over or something, then just say, would you mind closing the shade or opening the shade? Or, I get it. And sometimes the sun's shining in your eyes from the other side of the plane. There's really not anything you can do about it.
We had another guest host on the show, and she was saying,
on an airplane when people stretch their feet, like, and so their foot is on your armrest.
And they stretch their feet.
You know what I mean? Like,
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, and if you stretch your feet, your shoes aren't going to fit.
No, you know what I mean? Like you put your foot on their armrest because you're in the aisle seat.
Oh, stretch your legs.
Stretch your leg. Yeah.
Oh, all
it's
right.
like, really, it's my personal chair. It's my space. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
So, it's who owns the window? I'm with you, Chuck. The person who bought that window seat owns that window.
Right.
Period.
Yeah. If you're on the aisle, you get to lean into the aisle, but don't lean to where, you're on a night flight and people are walking into your head trying to go to the bathroom.
Or how about the food cart? You don't hear it, and all of a sudden they bump you in the head. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, people are just rude about personal. I mean, I've been sitting on planes where people come in, they're loading on the plane and they got shoulder bags. They hit you right in the head or in the shoulder with their back.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody bothers turning around to say, oh, excuse me. They just keep walking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've had someone hit me with a bag, and I just look at him like, you're not going to say anything?
Yeah.
People
And
are
again,
nuts.
this isn't your overhead bin either. It's like, no, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah.
We've flown this. We flew this vent to the end, right?
Yeah.
I think we've landed.
We need it. Yeah, we're on a nosedive.
Leave it on a jet plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Loretta, number 2, babe.
Well, this one's going to be a little controversial. I'm curious to hear what you think. I am walking my pit bull on a leash in my neighborhood. My dog does not like other dogs sniffing him because he can get angry, which is why I keep him on a leash. He likes people, not dogs sniffing his butt. This lady is walking her dog towards me, and her dog is not on a leash. Her dog runs towards us and starts to sniff my dog, and guess what? My dog does get mad, and this lady starts yelling at me for not properly training my dog. It was her dog coming after mine without a leash. I walked away without a confrontation because I knew she was going to tell me pit bulls are not safe dogs to have. Just keep your dog on a leash when you walk them. Is that too difficult to understand? Signed, I dare you to yell.
Well, Chuck, you're a dog owner.
I'm clapping because I am with this lady 100%. I have a big dog, and while he likes other dogs, he's a bit much. And I try to keep him away because little dogs especially, but people with little dogs especially. Sorry, I know you're a little dog guy,
fine.
but a lot of people love to they'll run up to you. Well, my dog could accidentally hurt him, much less kill him. And now I'm in the wrong, even though we're doing the right thing by keeping your dog on a leash, which is the law, people. It isn't just for fun. Like, it isn't just for people who have huskies that run off or have pit bulls. It is for all dogs, even the little bitty ones. And they're not all as cute as you think they are. I'm sorry, people.
Yeah. It's common courtesy. Well, we'll let you rant, but it's just common courtesy. And part of the problem is, besides people not being courteous, there's no state law, there's no federal law. It's really the state gives the power to each city and each town. So, if you're in Encino and you're in Burbank and, I don't know what the laws are for you, but it's just common courtesy to have your dog on a leash. And I've seen many dogs off leash and dogs getting attacked. And I've always been a big dog. I've always had Great Danes. It's only now that I've got a golden retriever mix and 2 Chihuahua mixes. And, you love them just the same. But when I see some big dog that looks like the person can't control them, there's people around here that have like German shepherds that have pulled them down and the dog goes loose and stuff like that. That's a fearful thing for me with, little 15-pound, 18-pound dogs,
Oh, yeah.
I would turn around to that lady and start sniffing her butt. So how do you like that? I'm going to sniff your butt. So, see what it feels like? Come on.
Wow. I didn't know that about you, Chris.
Yeah, well, I mean, I that poor, the lady.
You're a public butt sniffer.
Put the dog on a leash. Stop yelling. It's
Wow.
like, that's the point. That's what Lucretia's saying.
Yeah.
You know,
because here it is the law. It is in Burbank and all of LA County, actually. And there's signs everywhere. What I love is like people, like I live by the equestrian center. So there are people on
Nice.
horses and things. So, like your dog not being on a leash, you could literally kill a human, much less your dog, like, or someone else's dog. And it is funny because we see a lot of people around here be like, no, this is a dog park. I'm like, really? There's a sign right there that shows dogs must be on a leash. And why would there be a dog park where there are horses?
Right.
Yeah, like logically speaking, but people who walk their dogs not on a leash and just let them run everywhere, they're a different breed of narcissism.
Yeah.
And it is just like, oh my God, you're the animal, you're the one who's in the wrong sort of people. And you're just like, I'm sorry your mother loved you too much, but we live in the real world now.
Yeah.
That's very common. I mean, there's a lot of situations where you can actually look at the couple and know that the dog has more brains than the human,
Yeah.
you know,
for sure.
and more common sense. Yeah. So yeah, it can be scary. And my dogs, I don't even go to dog parks anymore because there's people. I've been to dog parks where I've seen people sitting there reading a book and their dog is running around attacking other dogs. And they don't care. They don't try to bring their dog back, you know, or the horses are a big alert for some dogs. My last Great Dane that I had, he was just highly, reactive when he would see a horse. And we were out hiking one time in the mountains, and he was loose. And we came over a hill, and here comes two guys with they're on horses. And my Great Dane just went running, at the horses and was barking. And the horse reared up. And the guy looked down at me and he pulls out a gun. And he goes,
No.
yes, yes. And I'm freaked out, because I'm trying to grab my dog. And he says, get your dog out of here. I'll shoot him,
Oh my
And
goodness.
I'm like
no.
freaked. And what do? It's me, two guys with, the guy's got a gun and horses, and I'm trying to get my dog. It's like, it's a scary situation.
What is
and then
this?
what do I do if the guy shoots my dog?
Seriously.
I'm out there with a dead dog and he rides off into the sunset.
What are we in the wild, wild west?
Well, we are.
I was like, this reminded me of home. Guns,
Wow.
horses.
There you go. Yeah, but I mean, it can be pretty. So you got to control your dog. And sometimes you can't control, or the leash breaks. I mean, things can happen. Or a dog that's not on a leash comes running up, and now you have a problem, even though
Right.
you're doing everything
Even
right.
though you're in the
Right.
right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right,
It's
right.
just like driving down the street and somebody runs a stop sign. You're doing everything right. You're doing the speed limit, and now you're dead, or you're in the hospital because
Yeah,
some moron's
yeah.
doing 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. The moral of the story is leash people. Put your
Leash,
dogs
leash.
on leashes.
And pick up your crap.
And
Yes.
pick
Your
up
dog
your
Pick up
crap.
the crap and
Yeah.
put it on a leash. Those are the
Yes.
two things that we all make a tacit agreement in having a dog about.
Wait,
Mhm.
and how about when you pick up the crap, they don't take the bag with them. They just drop the bag. I just saw that outside my front yard. I saw green little bags filled with shit on my front, right outside my house. I'm like, really?
Wow,
You picked up the
wow.
crap. Can you take the bag with you?
Well, at least
Yeah.
you live in a good neighborhood. My place, they just leave the crap on the sidewalk. They don't even put it in a bag for you.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
Yeah.
Well, God, we exhausted that one. I feel good
Exactly, boy.
I know.
we
I
just-
was like, this is one of my rants. So I was like,
Yeah.
I hate these people.
Yeah,
Vent
well,
away.
If you got
Yes.
any more, let it out,
No.
Risha.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny. If this wasn't on here, this would have been one of my events. And then I was like, oh, good. There's several dog things. Because as you know, you walk your dog around here.
Mhm.
People here, thank God they have the dog instead of a child, because I can't imagine how bad their kids would be. But you're like, yeah, no, like pay attention. Because in that one park, granted, horses crap everywhere, yes, but they still
Yeah.
technically are supposed to throw, hay on it. But it's like, it's bad enough that we have the horse crap. Could you at least pick up your dog crap in this
Yep.
park so we don't
Yep.
But
walk
you
on
are
it?
in an equestrian
Yeah.
area, so
Yes,
you
yeah.
expect to, but
The horse stuff, yeah, and
yeah.
it's usually in designated spots too.
Yeah.
So people don't pick up horse crap, right? They just
Correct.
they just cover it in hay, but then
They
sometimes
don't.
you got to carry hay around.
No, in
Right?
my neighborhood, there's a bunch of horses and they crap everywhere and nobody puts hay on it. It just sits there.
Do they walk down the street? I mean, people ride horses down your street, or
Yeah,
like
we
going to a
talked
trail.
Yeah,
about
because Lock
this.
and Yana has a horse trail too, right? Yeah, that was like-
Everywhere. Yeah.
yeah.
It's,
I have
um,
enough problems with homeless people and dogs shitting on the sidewalk. I don't need horses too.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, the people crap was always a big problem in Hollywood when I
Yeah,
was
oh
there.
my God.
And I got a lot of
Okay.
coyote crap in this now. I've actually had
Yeah,
I
we
have
have
video
coyotes.
cameras on my house, and I've got so many times I've seen coyotes just walk up, crap in my driveway and leave. It's like the one time I saw a coyote going by. I saw him on the camera going by, and he looked at the house. It was almost like, oh, this is where Chuck lives. Took a big shit and then took off again. It was like, oh, this is the
Okay.
address. I got the right house.
That's funny. Well, like the coyotes don't so much come into our yard because Loki, the husky, he's bigger than them, so we
Mhm.
don't really have as many issues with them. But like the raccoons, because we have fruit trees, like they come a lot. But I don't
Yeah.
find their crap as much. But there's some cats that will find that it's like,
Yeah.
hey, no, that's for inside, guys.
Yeah.
I think
Wow.
we crapped out on this story.
Yeah, we knocked the
Yeah,
shit out of
literally,
this.
we had to go back to crap. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
knocked the shit
The
out of
shit
this
well.
nice Chuck.
Knock the shit out of this vent. All right. Well, let's go to number 3. Is that a Loretta? Loretta, you got number 3 there? What are we talking about? Sex talk or something? What's going on? Ooh, sex talk.
I was wondering when it was going to be my turn. Okay, here you go. I live in a condo and I am a single working woman and I think pretty liberal minded. I decided to invite my neighbors for lunch. Well, they started asking me questions about my sex life, and I thought that was so inappropriate. So I said, it's a subject I don't feel comfortable talking about. Then they started to talk about their sex life, and I was so embarrassed. I thought to myself, I'll never hang out with these bozos again. Could you believe this? What are these people thinking? I hope you guys agree with me. Signed, Sex Talk at Lunch.
Well, there's a place for everything, isn't there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard there's a time and a place for everything, and it's called college. But
Yeah.
But some people keep doing it. They keep living their college years into adulthood.
Yeah, like it's so weird that these would just be like these aren't like good friends. These are just basically strangers in the condo, according to what she said. And they just open up asking questions like that. And then, oh, but then we'll talk about ours. What is with like Sex in the City? I think opened this weird door where people think that's how people talk. I don't know why. It's just the show was really funny, but I have a lot of girlfriends that we all grew up watching this show, and that seems to be the topic of conversation for particular ones. And I was at a gifting suite the other day, and my friend, who I will never bring to another event, she starts talking about how she got her IUD put in, like, and she's very
Wow.
much one of those always talking about sex types girls. But I'm like, we're talking to a vendor. And this is what you want to talk about? And the
No.
poor vendor girl is looking at me with her eyes wide open. And I'm just like looking at her like, yep, we're just going to have to go on this journey. So I don't know why. I hate to blame TV because I love TV because it's really not their fault. Sorry, Michael Patrick King and Candace Bushnell. But for some reason, Sex in the City has inspired way too many people to talk about sex with strangers.
Yep.
Yeah, people just open up a little bit too much. I mean, I remember being at a birthday party once, and the person of honor was opening his gifts and was presented with a really crazy gift by colleagues, and it was a group gift. There was a lot of people there from work, and there was friends, and the gift was a battery operated butt plug. It's like, are you kidding me? A battery operated butt plug. It's a plug that you put up your butt and you turn it on and it vibrates. It's
Why don't you just get a rechargeable one? They're very, more
Well,
environmentally friendly.
Lucretia.
there you go. There you go.
Whoa.
And can you charge it while using it? Do you just plug in while you're there enjoying yourself, or do you have to? I don't know how that works. Well, but this was at a time. This was a few years back before they had perfected the rechargeable battery. So you had to take it out and, put in a couple of AAAs and reload, as they say. So, but apparently this guy had a collection of these things, and his friends and colleagues knew about this, which is really
It
weird.
was a thoughtful gift,
It
at
was a
least.
thoughtful
Yeah.
gift. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
and it was really weird for me because after being at that party and seeing that and knowing this about him, every time I saw him, he just appeared to be vibrating to me. I couldn't look him in the eyes.
He was shaking. Chuck. He was what?
Yes,
Oh my-
Bob,
Like Dr.
Bob.
Katz, like
Yeah.
he was always like, did y'all ever watch that cartoon? It was like a guy, and it was a cartoon, and the guy was always shaking.
Yeah,
It was funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Chuck's like, are you happy to see me?
Yeah, yeah. And this was at a time when one of my little phrases that I used to see, I'd see people and I go, "Hey, what's shaking?" I couldn't say that to this man. It's like, what's shaking? We don't
Oh,
want to talk about
me.
what's shaking.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, well, I think, should we plug this one up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's- My battery ran out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We need to recharge.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again to Lucretia Lyon. Lucretia,
Yeah.
before we go, do you have anything you wanna plug?
Well, maybe not that, but I guess since I'm Lucretia Lyon, guys, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one.
There you go.
That's-
There's only one, and we're glad to have her.
That's Lucretia Unplugged.
Oh
sorry.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
Well,
I love
I'm
it.
here all week.
Like,
well, I hope we provided everyone with some food for thought and some chuckles. And I think, if nothing else, we got some chuckles today. Maybe not some food. Well, it would be food for thought too, I guess, really, right? And we certainly chuckled. But don't forget to go to ventthis.org and write us a vent. Write right on the website. Give us whatever your complaint is, and we'll have Loretta read it, or Chris will read it, or one of us will read it. Or you can leave us a voicemail vent at 818-570-2535. That number again is 818-570-2535. We'll play your voicemail on an upcoming episode. Now
And-
go out there and be nice to people. Oh, what? Huh? What?
Oh,
Somebody say something?
Oh, no. You got me all charged up, Chuck. No, I was just going to mention that we have our Instagram account, venthispodcast.com. Go
Yes,
check us
and-
out. Follow us.
Yeah, and we're on YouTube again. You can go to
Oh, yeah.
YouTube and stare at our logo.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
bye.